What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dell on Movies, and welcome to another episode of Watch These Movies. This is the series where I recommend 5 movies to you that I think don't get enough love. And since this is spooky season, it is October. I'm going to talk all horror. That is not something I've ever done on Watch These Movies before. As per my usual, we're going to start with the most accessible of these movies and work our way out to the most far out. And hopefully, you'll give at least one of these movies a watch. And if you've already seen them or any of them, let me know. And let's go ahead and get started, guys. The very first movie is a classic. Uh, Not something I usually do on this in this series because they're highly regarded movies and millions of people have seen them, many millions more than your average movie. And that's true in this case, except I would say that this movie is so old that a lot of younger people have not seen them. Even younger people who have dared to go back and watch the Universal monster films, the OG Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, all of those characters they may have missed this one. And this is the comedy that came after the success of all of those movies. This is Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. And I grew up on this film. This is uh, one of my favorite horror comedies of all time. In it, all the characters, I'm going to just put it up closer to the screen. In the movie, our heroes, Abbott and Costello, they just play baggage handlers, and the remains of Dracula are actually on their way to a museum and bada boom, bada bing, things go sideways. Dracula escapes, Frankenstein escapes, and they run into the Wolfman along the way. It's just a fabulous comedy. It's extremely well done, and I laugh from beginning to end. And I get it. Maybe everyone will not laugh at the things that I do, especially a 80-year-old movie, because I want to say 1941 is when this came out, but I laughed at it when I was a kid, and I still laugh at it as an adult. Matter of fact, it's time for a rewatch. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Probably time for your first watch for some of you, and let me know how you like that movie. Next up is a movie that I'm gonna guess most of you have not seen, and it's pretty far out there, but I would say it is still not as far out there as some of the other movies that will follow. And that movie is Cheap Thrills. Let's get the glare off. There we go. Cheap Thrills. And as you can see from the cover, we got some people in here you know. Uh, Pat Healy is our main guy right there in the front. Sarah Paxton, Ethan Embry, and David Ketchner. So we got some actors in here that you know in a movie that you probably don't. What goes on in Cheap Thrills is our main guy here in the middle, Pat Healy. He's lost his job. He's a family guy. He's got a family at home he's trying to provide for, and he's lost his job. And then our guy over here, they run into each other at a bar, and he's also similarly down on his luck. He's kind of a deadbeat dude, and they're just sitting there having some drinks and complaining about life. And this rich guy comes in the bar and he starts offering them money to just do things. And at first they start off pretty innocuous, go up and talk to this girl or have this drink. And things just escalate as the night goes on until we get to some really wild stuff. And I appreciated it for that. So if you're looking for a little bit of a different kind of a horror movie, not so much something that's trying to scare you, but something that's trying to show you, hey, this is something horrific that could probably happen, I would say Cheap Thrills is a movie to give a watch to. The next movie is also about a family man, and this one is Clown. Clown, our guy here. He doesn't look like this. He's just a regular guy, and he forgot to hire the clown for his son's birthday party. I believe it's his son. Been a little bit, but he forgets to hire the clown for his son's birthday party, and he's a real estate agent himself. And it so happens that at one of the houses that he's showing, uh, there is a clown costume in this house. So he takes the costume. He's like, you know what? I forgot to hire a clown. I'll just, put on the clown suit, go entertain my son and his friends for his birthday. Great thing a dad would do. So he does this. He goes home, and the party is a hit. He's a hit at the party. The kids love him, and the night's over. Son's gone to bed. His wife has gone up to tuck him in and all that kind of thing. And he decides it's time to take the costume off. Well, the costume will not come off, and he tries mightily to get it off. Nothing happens, and it is starting to have a psychological effect on him because there is something happening with this suit, guys. And pretty soon he is a psychopath. He's getting increasingly worse as the film goes on. I won't spoil where it goes, but yeah, definitely take a look at Clown. And if you're one of those people who are afraid of clowns, then don't bother. But if you're into terrifying or Art the Clown is all the rage, it's not that. There is some gore in this movie for sure, and there's some childhood endangerment, some children endangerment, and but it is a really really solid horror flick. Just don't go thinking you're getting another Art the Clown. But Clown is really really good. Movie number four, we're gonna edge even a little more out there, and this time it is a movie directed by the Soska sisters. Now their most famous movies, they did a remake of a David Cronenberg movie. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Rabbit, that's what it was. They did a remake of Rabbit. So that's probably their most famous movie. The one most of their fans talk about the most is a movie that I actually do also have back there called American Mary, and that could have been in this recommendation set of recommendations also. But I went with the movie that came before that even, and that movie is, let me get my finger out of there, Dead Hooker in a Trunk. So the title itself is crazy. It's outrageous, right? Well, here's what happens, guys. The Social Sisters not only directed the movie, they star in the movie. So they're twin sisters, in case you're not familiar with them. And that's what they do. They do horror. So in this movie, they're, life of night of partying and all this kind of stuff, and they're getting ready to go somewhere and discover there is a dead hooker in the trunk of their car. And it's the two of them, and they've got some other crazy friends with them. And now everybody is chasing after them, and all sorts of stuff is happening. And it's gory, it's funny, it's just insane. I did do an episode of Movie Swap that involved this movie. I had one of the double feature twins watched the film. I think it was Mika, or I think it was Mika. I'm not sure. But yes, they enjoyed the movie. Double, hmm, Dead Hooker in the Trunk, really, really good watch. And that will take me to the last of these movies. And it's out there not because of gore or anything, just because the story takes so much to get into. It requires a lot of you, and it is a very, very, very artsy film. This is a 1970s black horror film called Ganja and Hess. Our main guy is not on the cover, by the way, but he's an anthropologist. Yes, he's a black anthropologist. Kind of African studies is kind of his thing, and he has this ancient dagger that come from this line of people who were known to partake in some questionable activities, so to speak. And he, bada boom, bada bing, things happen, and he gets stabbed with this ceremonial dagger that he has, and he then very shortly thirsts for blood. So you already know what type of creature he has become, and he has one woman who is kind of down with him and joins up with him, and we get to watch their relationship grow and change and the things that they do and how it all ends up. It is very different experience than just about any other vampire movie out there. I will say that even to this day. Uh, the closest thing to it actually is the remake. Spike Lee did a remake called The Sweet Blood of Jesus. Um, it's actually not bad if you're going by Spike Lee remakes. It's probably the best one. um, Yes, I've seen highest to lowest. We can talk about that another time. But this movie, watch the OG, watch the original. If you want to watch the Spike Lee one after that, I say fine. It does change some things, so it's not exactly watching the same movie twice. This one is directed by Bill Gunn, and he does a fantastic job. And like I said, it's a highly, highly artsy movie. So if artsy is not your thing, and tons of nudity, male and female, is not your thing, those things are automatic turn off. Then definitely don't bother with Ganja and Hess. But if you are someone who wants to see something different, you want to think your way through a vampire film, check out Ganja and Hess. So let me know again in the comments if you have seen any of these movies, what you think of them, if you are planning on watching any of these movies, and which ones. And that's really all I have for you guys. You know what I haven't said in a long time? Like, comment, subscribe, do those things. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you've been here before, thanks for hanging out with me again. Bye.